Hi guys! Today I'm reviewing the Oster 2-pound Expressbake Bread Machine. It measures 11.5 inches tall, 10.5 inches wide, and about 12 inches deep. The unit weighs approximately 8 pounds. The machine has a nice, neat and clean look to it. As you can see, it's big and will take up some counter space. Making bread by hand takes time and effort. There are a lot of stages. A bread machine goes through all of those stages and bakes the bread, so there's little work on your part. You just have to add the ingredients. A basic 2-pound white bread will take 3 hours and 25 minutes total in this machine. Included with this bread maker is an instruction manual that has a number of recipes, from basic white bread to sourdough, rolls, bagel dough, pizza, and pasta dough. You can even make jam and marmalade with this bread maker. The instructions are detailed, and there are tips and hints which are helpful. Baking is a science, and measuring ingredients exactly makes a difference in the result. There is a measuring cup included, and it has markings for dry ingredients and wet ingredients. There's cup markings, ounce markings, and milliliter markings. You can use this cup to measure your ingredients or use your own cup. There's a tablespoon and teaspoon measuring scoop included. This is the kneading blade. This goes inside the bread pan. And this is the kneading blade removal tool. Open the lid. The first time it might be difficult to pull up the bread pan. Usually you would just hold onto the handle and pull it straight up. If it's too hard to do it that way, just grab both sides of the pan, just move it back and forth, and slide it out. This is a non-stick bread pan and measures 7 inches long, 5¼ inches wide, and 5 inches deep. The blade attaches straight to the center. Just like that. To put the pan back, just put it in the middle and push it down. This is the vent. You want to make sure that's not covered. The glass viewing window is really convenient. You can see what's happening inside the machine at all stages. I think it'd be a lot of fun for kids to watch while the bread is baking. This is the control panel with LCD display. When you plug in the machine, you'll hear that beep, and it'll show you a 3-hour and 25-minute timer. There's a start-stop button. That's what starts the baking process. The menu select, if you press that, and you can choose the type of bread with the menu setting. All the types of bread are listed here. There's a corresponding number to the type of bread. 1 would be white bread. Number 3 would be whole wheat. 4 would be sweet. There are a total of 9 bread settings and 3 fast bake settings. After pressing the type of bread on your menu, you would choose the crust color. When you press the crust color, you have a choice between light, medium, or dark. You see there's a rapid option also, and that can be chosen for basic, French, or whole wheat, and will make the bread about an hour faster. After you've chosen the crust color, you'll choose the loaf size. You have a choice between 1 pound, 1.5 pounds, or 2 pounds. Some programs have fixed settings for crust color and loaf size. You can also use the delay timer that can be set for up to 13 hours. After you've set the menu for the type of bread, the crust color, and the loaf size, you would press the start button, and that will start making the bread. There are stages the machine goes through, and they are listed in the manual. First is the kneading for 5 minutes, then the dough rests for 5 minutes, it's kneaded again for 20 minutes, then it rises and is punched down, it rises again, is shaped, and it rises again. Finally, it bakes for about 60 minutes. During the second kneading cycle, you should check the dough, and if it's too wet, add flour a tablespoon at a time. If it's too dry, add water a teaspoon at a time. So even though the bread maker is going through all these stages on its own, this is the one part where you have to check and make sure the dough looks as it should. The timer will count down, and when it reaches 0, the bread is finished. The machine will beep 15 times and switch to the automatic keep warm setting. That keeps the bread warm for an hour. It should also beep 15 times after 1 hour of keep warm mode. It is best to remove the bread right away after it's finished. The dough function makes dough, but there's no baking. There is a baking function that you can use to bake bread and dough. If you're using a recipe where you need to add nuts or raisins to the bread, the machine will beep when it's time to add those ingredients. With bread machines, you have to put the ingredients in a certain order. Liquids first, then dry, and the yeast goes in last. All your ingredients should be at room temperature and be fresh. Don't use yeast or flour that's old. When you first get the machine, make sure to wash this pan in warm soapy water and completely dry it. First, attach the kneading blade. All the ingredients are added to the pan, and then you insert the pan into the machine. Plug the machine in only after you've put in all the ingredients in the pan and put the pan in the machine. I'll test out this bread maker by making the French countryside bread. That's the recipe from the manual. It's a 2-pound loaf. The blade is already inside the pan. First, add the liquid ingredients. This is 1 3/8 cup of water, room temperature. Should be between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 1/2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You can use olive oil also. Now we'll add all the dry ingredients. 1 tablespoon sugar, and 1 1/2 teaspoons salt. Then we'll add the 4 cups of bread flour. When you measure flour, just heap the flour onto the cup and just level it off with a butter knife or a spatula. This is already measured out, it's 4 cups. Now we'll add the 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. This is how it comes in the packet. Make a well with your finger in the center of the flour and just put the yeast in the middle. The yeast should not touch the liquid ingredients. Now we'll put this into the machine. Put it straight down and push it down. Cover the unit. Plug in the machine. You'll see the display say 3 hours and 25 minutes. We need to choose the French setting, which is 2. So there we have chosen the French setting. You can see 3:35 is on the display. French bread takes 3 hours and 35 minutes. Now we need to press the loaf size. This is a 2-pound loaf, and the 2-pound loaf is already chosen here, as you can see. And now we need to choose the crust color. I'm gonna choose medium. Medium is chosen. To start making the bread, just press the start-stop button. You can hear the machine mixing the ingredients and you can watch through the window. The machine is resting now after kneading for 5 minutes. After resting for 5 minutes, the machine has started kneading again. Now it'll knead for 20 minutes and then the dough will rise. You can see the arrows pointing to knead while the machine is kneading. The dough looks good, but it's a tiny bit dry. So I'm going to add just a drop or 2 of water. You should do this during the 2nd kneading cycle. You'll hear different clicking sounds during different stages. The machine is a little bit loud while kneading, but not too loud. If the machine starts to move around a little bit on the counter, put a wet rag under the feet and that should help. Now it's forming a nice ball. It's not too wet or dry, it looks good. Now the 20-minute kneading is finished. You can see the arrow next to rise. So the dough is going to start to rise. It's been almost 40 minutes. You can see that the dough has risen. Now the dough will be punched down and it'll continue to rise for about 25 minutes. There's 1 hour and 20 minutes left and the dough is on its last rise. There's 55 minutes left and the setting has changed to bake. So the unit has started baking the bread. The bread has been baking for about 7 minutes and you can already smell it. There's 18 minutes left on the timer. You can see the bread is starting to get some color on top. There's about 5 minutes left. The outside of the unit does get warm. It's not burning hot, but it's very warm. Get a cooling rack ready, the blade removal tool, and an oven mitt. The pan will of course be very hot when you pull it out. Those beeps mean our bread is done, and now the machine has gone into keep warm mode automatically. It's best to remove the bread right away. I'll press the start-stop button. Now the unit is off. Open the lid. The bread looks pretty good. Pull it out. hard to pull out by the handle. Just gonna move the pan. So getting this out is a little difficult, especially when the pan is hot and you can't grip the handle. I don't want to put a hole in my bread either. Okay, let's try now. There we go. Now, since the pan is non-stick, it should just easily come out of the pan. Let's see. There we go. Oh good, it's coming out in one piece. Looks beautiful, nice and crusty. See, the blade is on the bottom. We do have to take that out. You can wait till it cools, or you could take it out now. This might put a hole in your bread, but it's too bad there will be a hole in the bread. There it comes. It's burning hot. Here's our beautiful bread. It's nice and golden brown, even all around. And the top is nice and crusty. It also smells really good. Now I know you want to eat this right away, but it's best to let it cool for 15 minutes, then we'll slice it. If you want to make another loaf, wait 15 minutes for the unit to cool down. Make sure to leave the unit open and the pan out of the unit. To clean, press the stop button to turn off the machine, unplug it, and make sure it's completely cool. Wipe the pan and kneading blade with a damp cloth and dry. The parts are not dishwasher safe. Clean the inside of the unit with a damp cloth. Make sure all the parts are dry. For storing, put the kneading blade inside the pan, put the pan in the unit, and keep the lid closed. The bread has cooled. You see it's not perfectly domed on top. It's a little bit sunken here, a little bit raised here. So don't expect it to look absolutely perfect. But it's a nicely shaped loaf. Use a serrated knife. It's soft, smells really good, and the crust is nice. Let me just taste it. Tastes pretty good. It's very crumbly, the outside. You can see you get a hole on the bottom here from removing the blade. Bread is nice and warm. Let's put a little bit of butter on here. It's nice and soft. You can definitely smell the yeast. Overall, it's pretty good bread. I don't see any uncooked pieces of dough. Everything looks pretty evenly cooked. It's a pretty good loaf of bread. Why do people buy a bread machine? Because they like to control what goes into their bread. With the bread I just made, there's nothing artificial. There are no colors or no preservatives, nothing. It's just natural, fresh, homemade bread. This Oster is about $60, and I think it's a decent option for those who want to make their own bread. And this machine is not just for bread. You can make other types of doughs and bake it in the machine or bake it in your oven. It wasn't complicated to use. The instruction manual is very detailed. You get a lot of tips, and there's step-by-step instructions. If you want to try out this Oster, I've put a link in the description below. As always, I hope you found this review helpful. Subscribe and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.